What is up, everybody? It is Wick here, and I've got some things I've sold on eBay to show you, give you some ideas on what to look for at the thrift stores. This first item here is a Yamaha keyboard. This was not that big of a keyboard, but it's a vintage one, and some of these are sought after. This is one of them. Not huge money. I did pay $10 for this at a Goodwill, and I sold it. I ended up getting $70.74. That includes the shipping. And my profit after shipping, cost and fees, all of that is $38.81. So most certainly some decent profit on that. You can see the picture is terrible. It did not fit in my photo booth too well. But I was like, I don't care. I'm just going to put it in there. Somebody wants it. They're not going to care about, you know, this tacky photo. Though I did have to take a picture twice because I remember I forgot to take the Goodwill sticker off and just snapped a picture of it when I was putting up the photos. I'm like, what have I done? That's something I don't want, is the Goodwill sticker on this. I catch myself doing that a lot, and I've definitely messed up before selling something that had a Goodwill sticker on it, and the person wasn't too happy about it. They complained, and so I definitely don't want to ever do that again. But I kind of swore off keyboards back in the day when I first started reselling. I was picking them up at yard sales, so cheap. I remember getting one for 50 cents, and I thought, I'll definitely be able to make money on this, and it just wasn't moving. I did make money on it. I sold it at a yard sale that I had, and sold it for like $5. So made a pretty good return on it, but online, a lot of these old keyboards are just not worth picking up. Of course, you always got to look up the model number on these things. It's right there, and this one was pretty sought after. Here are some Sunstep sandals. I like picking up this brand. Unfortunately, a lot of times the condition on these are bad because they got the woven look to them, and they're stretched, or they get easily scratched up and beat up. So these were at a Salvation Army, I remember, $10, and it took about a week, I believe, to go down half off. So I waited until then. They were still there, so I picked them up for $5. Didn't want to pay $10 because I sold them for $38.95. That includes the shipping they paid. So in the profit in the end was $19.62. And these are not very saturated on eBay, so there's not a lot of competition. So they do move pretty quick. And wow, this was such a great pickup. This is an Olympus Stylus camera. A lot of these Olympus Stylus cameras are valuable. This one apparently is rare, I guess because of the gold buttons or inlay or something about it being gold, I remember. So I ended up selling this thing for $99.21, and I only paid $3 for it at a Goodwill, and my profit in the end was $78.44. It actually shipped for like $4, so it very cheap shipping. I was a little nervous about this one because I never know for sure if cameras work unless I film test them. It looked like everything was working, but you know, until you take a picture, you never know for sure. And I do disclose that when I sell stuff, that, you know, it's not film tested, but you know, everything else seems to be functioning. But I sold this about a month ago now, so I believe it's fine. No returns. Here is just a DVD I picked up at a Goodwill for $2.99. Your Child Can Read. It stood out. It was sealed, and any DVD I can make around $8 to $10. I like to make at least $10 on items I sell on eBay, make it worth my time. But DVDs that are sealed, they're easy to deal with, right? You don't have to worry about testing them. You don't have to worry if they're scratched. So if I can pay $3 and make, I sold this one for $19.99. They ship media mail, which is about $2.78, and I made $11.33 on this. It takes about 3 minutes to list this item, so you really can't go wrong, even if the profits are a bit lower. Unfortunately, I don't find a lot of good DVDs at Goodwill, but honestly, I don't spend a lot of time going through them. Certain days, if I'm not in a rush and I'm at Goodwill, local ones, I'll spend some time looking up some DVDs, but usually I would prefer just to keep going and hitting more Goodwills and looking for the higher dollar items rather than just focus on, you know, going through all the DVDs, because I know they're picked through a lot. But I do glance at them. I do look for the unique stuff, and this is one of those items. Here are some Brooks Adrenaline shoes. I added these on here. I sold a lot of shoes recently, so I didn't want to just fill this list here with shoes to show you. But this pair I got at a church-ran thrift store. I only paid $1 for these, and I sold them very quick for $39.41. I made $24.03 after shipping. And the great thing about finding shoes for $1 is they don't have to be in perfect condition. You can price them lower and you're going to get a quick sale. A lot of times you see shoes like this at Goodwill or other thrift stores. St. Francis or even Salvation Army now are pricing their shoes up. They may want $20 for these. And well, you go to these nice church-run thrift stores where they're just like, you know, we're like the old school thrift stores. Everything's $1 or a quarter, and it's great. It's a great feeling to be able to find something like this for the price. I mean, I find shoes like this a lot at Goodwill for $5 to $10, but you know, just to find it for $1 is great. Here's another Goodwill pickup. This is a Panasonic Mini DV player. Yeah, Mini DV, and it's just one of those ones that use the old little tapes. Wasn't very popular, not as popular as the Sony like Hi8 stuff, but people still do want these. They hook them up to their VCR to do video transfers and stuff like that. If you use that in your title, you might get a bit more money because that's what people are searching for. I paid $15 for this and I sold it for $85.69, and shipping was not that much at all. And my profit was $50.34. So happy it works. A lot of times you buy these electronics and they do not work. But even with this one, the charger, I know how to get my money back. But our local Goodwills, you can return stuff within 7 days as well. So if this was at, say, St. Francis, where they don't allow returns, or Salvation Army, you know, I might not want to spend $15 on it because people donate broken stuff all the time, unless I could test it at the store. I couldn't test this because it was in a bag sealed, but everything worked out in the end. I made $50. Here's a terrible picture of some Anne Gables books. Anne of Green Gables, I guess is the correct term. I paid $3 for this at a Goodwill, and I sold it for $29.99, and I got $18.86. Could ship it media mail, so it shipped for probably under $4. What was strange about this was it was on Amazon for less. It was selling on eBay better than Amazon and for more money. That's rare. That doesn't happen too often, but sometimes it does. And that's why I like to sell on multiple platforms, because you can just go where things are selling and where they're going to make the most money. But yeah, always happy to pick up stuff like this. It's just quick, easy listing and easy money. Here's a game, Carcassonne South Seas. This is a kind of a rare game. And I remember on my vlog, I showed this when I found it, and I estimated it a little high. I made a mistake. I thought it was worth about $80, but that was new ones. This one was very good condition, incomplete. And yeah, so I made a mistake there. Still great money, and I made profit because I only spent $3 on it. And sold it for $44.89, made $27.34 profit. But there was another mistake on this, and that is there was 2 instruction manuals in this box for some reason. So I said, hey, I'll just sell a manual separate for $12, make some extra money. So I sold the game first, and about 2 or 3 weeks later, I sold the manual. When I went to ship it, I realized, oh no, I had the other manual still in that box. I didn't take it out. So I had to cancel the guy's order. I hate doing that. I hate making those kind of stupid mistakes. It's not even about the money. It's just having to cancel the guy's order. I was the only one selling a manual. He was probably thrilled that he had found somebody selling one he needed. In fact, he was a new eBay seller. He probably just made an account to buy that, and I had to cancel his order. Yeah, unfortunately, it does happen. So I missed out on a little bit of money and just ruined somebody's day. Here is a Wario plush. I love finding cool plushes to sell because they're usually cheap, even though the prices on these are going up as well. I had to pay $3 for this one. Sold it for $19.99 within like 2 hours of listing it, so I probably listed it too low. I did that because new ones were selling for $24.99 with the tag. This one didn't have the tag, so I'm like, yeah, just price it $5 cheaper. Otherwise, it may sit forever. I guess I made a mistake there. Still, in the end, I made $9.65, slightly lower than the $10 I want to make on eBay, but that's okay because this is something I didn't have to spend 15 minutes testing and cleaning or anything like that. So really about 5 minutes of work to make $9.65. I'll take it. Then finally, I got this Casio portable color TV. Got this at a Salvation Army. I paid $3 for it. You cannot use these anymore to watch TV because of all the digital analog changes, but people still want them, especially if it has the box like this, because there's people that collect old electronics. They want the box, the paperwork. Then there's people that like to mod these things. You know, somebody may rip apart a Game Boy or some other video game system, or they may put like a Raspberry Pi or something in there to make it like a portable gaming console. So people like to buy these shells. So just because something's kind of obsolete doesn't mean that you won't be able to sell it. In this case, there's not a whole lot of money in it. I ended up selling it for $19.99. So I made $10.11 profit in the end. But between those 10 items, I made $288.53 profit after all cost, fees. Of course, I have to pay tax on that at the end of the year. Tax man! But still, to list all this stuff was probably under an hour, almost certainly. So it's great profit for the time you put into it. Plus, you know, I'm not counting the time you're at thrift stores and driving around and all that. But to me, that part's fun and enjoyable. And I'm going to be doing that anyway, even if I'm not finding stuff to sell, because I enjoy hunting and looking for awesome things at thrift stores. But that's going to do it for the video, everybody. Hopefully I can get to some yard sales soon as everything starts opening up again from this pandemic and people start having sales. I really am missing out on the garage sales. But if you enjoyed the video, hit that like button on the way out. Make sure you're subscribed. You can find me on Twitter, Instagram, flipping_junk. Please ring that bell for me. This has been Wick. Till next time.